Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Fall for the good time, there's laughter, there's sunshine, forgetting all of our fears. There'll be parties and music.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. I'm Barbara Hardt.
And I'm Doug Armitage. And now for this week's news.
To open the podcast, here is O'Sullivan performing her holiday-themed folk song tinged with melancholy and nostalgia, Take Me Home, featuring Declan Kennedy.
I want this, all of this, I need this, oh, take me home.
This episode is brought to you by Brightwood Music, Very Nice Brewing Company, Good Life Pilates, Hardt's Backhoe, Howling Wind Brewing and Blending, and of course, the Mountaineer newspaper.
Confess all your secrets at 3 in the morning. This season seems so magical.
I am Patrice LeBlanc, and I am here with the Woodbury Collective. Ladies, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I'm one of the owners of the Woodbury Collective. I also own Mountain Bound Pottery, and my pottery business is kind of how I got into creating our collective within the Woodbury.
Hi, my name is Sadie Schultz, and I am the other co-owner of the Woodbury Collective. I also own the Spice and Tea Exchange of Idaho Springs, and I am an herbalist and wellness practitioner. So Lindsay and I co-own the Woodbury together and create a pretty dynamic team because of our experience.
Excellent. And can you tell us where your business is located?
Absolutely. The Woodbury Collective is located in the new development of the Gregory Plaza in Blackhawk. We are located in the Blue House, which is known as the Woodbury House, hence the name, the Woodbury Collective. Yeah, so to gain access to the Woodbury Collective, you park in the Blackhawk parking garage and then just walk right across the street into the plaza, and we're the Blue House.
Got it. Can you tell us what was your inspiration for creating this business?
So I think our inspiration for creating this is that both Lindsay and I wanted a space where artists and holistic practitioners could feel at home in our community, a place where artisans could, especially new and upcoming artists, could have a place to display their product at a really low cost to them.
Yeah, interact with other like-minded artists and learn and grow in the space.
Absolutely. As well as the same goes for the wellness practitioners, a place that, you know, in Blackhawk and in Gilpin County in general, there is not a lot of services, especially holistic services. And we really wanted to create a community center, a gathering place where people could come together and feel safe to express themselves in all sorts of art and artisan ways.
Excellent. And what type of products and services do you offer there?
Yeah, so there's kind of a mix. When it comes to practitioners, we're definitely looking for mainly holistic style practitioners, massage, Reiki, acupuncture, chiropractic, meditation, nutritional coaching and counseling, herbalism services. So really more on the holistic end. And I think that goes for the handmade goods as well.
And how did you come up with the name Woodbury Collective?
We wanted to stick with the history of the building, the Woodbury. It was built in the 1860s and was owned he ended up being like the mayor of Blackhawk.
Yeah, I don't know his first name, but his last name was Woodbury, and it was his house. So we wanted to honor the history of that, and so that's where the name came from.
Interesting. All right, and how long have you been in business?
Well, I mean, both of us independently have been business owners for quite some time, but the Woodbury Collective is obviously birthed brand new. We entered into the space the end of August. Yeah, we entered into the space in the end of August, and then we'll be officially soft opening the first part of December, with full grand opening in the spring of next year.
Nice. And what are some of your plans that you have at the Woodbury Collective?
Yeah. Well, right now at the Woodbury Collective, we are offering a lot of classes, workshops, introductions to our artisans through events and small community engagement. We host a free new moon and full moon circle every month that's open to everyone to come check out the space. We're also offering monthly artisan workshops that Lindsay is helping organize.
And what is the favorite part about what you do? What is your passion about what you do?
I think for me, the passion comes from bringing the community together and really helping people have a safe place to come and learn and grow, as well as a place to sell and offer their gifts and talents to the community. I think it's a huge opportunity for both Lindsay and I.
Yeah, to lift up and encourage other artisans and service providers.
Nice. And how many employees do you have at your venue?
You see it right now, or just us right now. We will be, our artisans do have the opportunity to be working in the space as a part of their membership. So we will be employing some artisans, but right now the employees you see are what you get.
Nice. And is there something else that you would like to tell the listeners about your business that makes it unique?
We are one of the first shops opening up for actual shopping in Blackhawk. So that's definitely
Yeah, it'll be really awesome to be able to shop in Blackhawk locally in Gilpin County, to be able to support. And right now we have quite a few local Blackhawk and Gilpin County artisans. So you'll be shopping people that live in your community, which is huge to be able to shop local and support local artisans and practitioners. So that will be really awesome.
Do you have set hours you are open or set days?
Right now, not until spring of next year. So the best way to know our open and operating hours is to be following us on Instagram at the Woodbury Collective. And we will be posting when our shopping hours are, as well as all of our workshops, classes, free events. Everything will be available on our Instagram. And in the spring of 2020, we will be open on the weekends. So we'll have some regular business hours on the weekends starting spring of next year.
Okay, and besides Instagram, do you have any other social media that people can follow you on?
Not at this time, just Instagram right now.
And is there anything on a personal note that you would like to invite people into your store? What would you tell them that they would like to come and visit your store?
I think for us, it's really about, if you want to come and interact with like-minded people in our community, it's really a safe, non-judgmental space to really explore wellness and what wellness means to you and what holistic lifestyle means. So I think it's a great starting place, a jumping off point to get education.
Nice. All right, and Lindsay, anything else to add?
Oh yeah, education and also, local goods. There's really no shopping up where we live in Gilpin County. It's very limited. So it'd be nice for the community to be able to shop locally for like Christmas and not have to travel all the way down the hill to do so.
Thank you both. This is Patrice LeBlanc. I have been talking with the ladies who run the Woodbury Collective in Blackhawk, and they are just getting on their feet and doing their soft openings and soon to be a grand opening, something that you will not want to miss. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Patrice. We appreciate you.
And now to the news desk. The Gilpin Winter Arts Festival will take place this weekend at 250 Norton Drive at the Gilpin Rec Center. The event features vendors, crafts, games, food, and Santa. Check out more information on their Facebook page at Gilpin County Parks and Recreation.
Check out this week's full music listing, including where to be and what to see this week across the Peak to Peak region, as well as an action-packed edition full of Nederland and Gilpin school news, events, government, and more. The weekly print and online edition hits stands every Thursday by noon.
Hello, my name is Jamie Lammers, and this is my interview with the guitarist for the funk band Kamani, Kat Dyson.
Hi, my name is Kat Dyson, and I'm the guitarist for Kamani. And Kamani is playing at Nederland at the Caribou Room.
How did you first get started playing music? What were some of your early interests, and how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it since I was a little kid. I was always curious. I always wanted to touch things, but music touched me. So I saw the boys doing it. I grew up in Virginia. I was, doing what every little Southern girl does, which is take piano lessons, which were boring compared to seeing the kids out back plugging in electric guitars and making a lot of noise and driving their parents crazy. So my mom bought me a guitar. I started from there learning by ear with the neighborhood kids, and she passed away unexpectedly of a brain aneurysm, and I looked at the guitar as something that she left me to kind of keep at, so I kind of kept at it. I was 10 years old.
So you would say the electric guitar is your instrument of choice?
Over a piano? Yes. This was way more fun, even though I have friends who do it for a living who would absolutely disagree with me.
How did Kamani come into play?
Towards the end of 2020, I got a call from my good friend, Nikki Glaspie, and she had some dates booked for the Nth Power. And for some reason, all the members couldn't make the gigs, and they were a string of gigs that were places that were owned by folks that she had been working with over her career. And they were all smaller venues, mom and pops, and they, she didn't want to see them lose everything. So they had made these dates to try to keep the places open as the pandemic started to ease up a little bit. This was November 2020. And she called me, and she got in touch with Nigel Hall. He got in touch with Matt Lapham, and we went down and did those gigs. And that's how we started. It was very limited, like 4 or 5 gigs. And all the places said, hey, when the country really opens back up, come back and we'll have you back again and we'll pay you better. We'll make it a real thing. From there, we just kind of kept going and got more interest and got different people involved. Got Sput and Xavier from Ghost Note involved. We got Sean from Snarky Puppy involved, and we kind of called that Kamani 2.0, where we had like 2 drummers, 2 keyboards. It's just kind of grown out of a love thing to keep live music vibrant and relevant, which, this country kind of deemed that it wasn't for like a year and a half. So that's why we did it, for the love of music and for the love of people who love live music. We keep going.
You just talked about the fact that live music is so important to everything you are as people and everything that you've done. What are some of your favorite parts about being able to perform live?
It's why we do it. Otherwise than that, I'd be home playing to my dog, who for the last year and a half is looking at me like, Mom, go out and play for people. When you pursue a music career, the aim is to share the gift. If the aim is to just stay in your house and play for your own enjoyment, that's fine. But for the professional musician, I don't think that's ever the aim. The aim is always to share the gift far and wide, so that's why.
Do you have any personal favorite stories that you've had over the years? Just as far as like performing or experiences with the band or your own personal experiences with music, anything along those lines?
Well, I like being with Kamani because we are a band of friends. and we have the same influences. We grew up, loving all types of music, having music as a soundtrack in our homes. Didn't have to be an occasion, happy or sad, or Friday paycheck music for my dad was Miles Davis Sketches of Spain, and he was not a musician. My mom would play Ella Fitzgerald when she was happy. At Christmas time, it was Nat King Cole. So there was always music playing in my house, whether it was an occasion or not. And I think we all kind of share that. I grew up in the Catholic Church. I didn't grow up in the Baptist Church like some of our band members who grew up in the Baptist and Kojic churches. I saw nuns playing guitar. So for me, seeing women playing guitar was kind of what I saw. And I kind of did what I saw. And then, of course, get in school and you learn the school songs and you learn the songs that are popular so you'll be cool with the kids and then their talent shows and stuff like that. So we've all, I think, had similar experiences. Dominic Xavier from Ghost Note, I met him at my current church here in L.A., Bible Enrichment Fellowship Center. He was one of the keyboardists. And so were the guys from the Regiment Horns who played with Justin Timberlake. So we all converge at some point on the road, at a church, at a club, being social, sharing a gift again. Can't just sit in your house with it. You got to go out and play it.
And would you say that you've developed a personal style with your instruments, or that the band has developed a personal style with their music over the years?
I think that because I grew up pretty much learning to play by ear before I went to university, I don't know that I have one particular style because I love so much music. There's not really one that's more personal than others because every music organization I'm with is different. With Cyndi Lauper, it was rock and pop, and then she likes getting into different kinds of styles. So we went down to Jamaica and did a remake on Girls Just Want to Have Fun with Sly and Robbie. So it always cross-pollinates, you know what I mean? As far as Kamani goes, we're focused on R&B and funk that we grew up with, and we pick songs from points in our lives and the style that kind of galvanized us that we enjoy together. So we're focused on that vibe. But, when I play with Sheila E., it's different. When I, played with Prince, he was all about all styles all the time. I got to play with Natalie Cole. She wanted to do more R&B, but she, was rooted in jazz. So it depends on the situation I'm in.
In regards to what I heard about you before this interview, I heard tell that you served as a guitarist for Prince's backing band.
Yes, sir, MPG.
Do you have any stories from that, out of curiosity? Any fun stories about performing during that time, or?
Well, it was a whirlwind of a time, and you definitely have to move to Minneapolis to work with them. So I actually moved from Montreal, where I was living at the time, to Minneapolis, and we rehearsed for sometimes 12 to 16 hours a day before we went out and toured and did our thing. So, he was a consummate professional and was probably tougher on himself than he was anybody else, but he was also a jokester and had lots of fun. We played a lot of basketball, saw a lot of movies, had a lot of fun. He would just buy out a bowling alley and we'd just go and play. He was more regular than I think people think, but he was also, more creative than anybody would know because he never stopped writing music. He never stopped creating, never stopped working. His tech called me 3 a.m. one morning and asked me, "Do you have your acoustic guitar?" And I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I'm going to send a driver over to pick it up because Prince was using it on this record." My gear was usually there. So at 3 a.m., he was writing songs and a guitar that I had from a company called Godin based in Canada. So when I came to rehearsal the next day, I said, "Look, I'll call the company and I'll have them send you one." And he says, "Well, what do I have to do?" I said, "You just have to play it. I don't have to sign anything." I'm like, "No, you don't have to sign anything. You don't have to do any campaign. They're Canadian. They just want you to play it." Just little stuff, man. We had a ball. It was like being in a band of brothers, Everybody's playing musical instruments. Everybody's getting along. It was fantastic.
Is there anything else you want to add about the band or personal stories of yours involving music or just anything else in general you want to talk about?
Well, Kamani is a good time. Kamani is a vibe, a good feeling, and if you want that to head off your holiday celebrations. Come on out and party with us. We party. We do good vibration music, good lyrics, sing-alongs. Everybody's dancing. You know, we're just celebrating life and the opportunity to be able to still be here, even during this ever-changing pandemic situation, and keep moving the music forward and keep moving the good vibes forward. So that's what we want to give out to the people, and we hope they'll come and start their holiday season off with us.
That's pretty much it. I want to thank you so much for coming on board and joining us. This was really cool.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kat, for coming on board and joining us for this podcast. If you want to see Kamani perform live, you can watch them at the Caribou Room at 55 Indian Peaks Drive in Nederland, Colorado with Electric Kith on Friday, December 17th, 2021. The doors open at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m.
Are you a local musician or artist? Would you like a feature story in a print edition of The Mountaineer, as well as on our podcast, website, and social media? Interviews are completed in person or by phone with our professional journalists. Interested? Email publisher1977@gmail.com to get on the list for an upcoming edition.
Hey, it's Mike at the Nederland Library here to tell you about a couple of events we have coming up. First off, we have Parents Afternoon out. That's going to take place on Saturday, the 11th from 11 to 2. You can register at our website for that one. The next day, on Sunday the 12th, we've got our Upcycled Books Crafting Afternoon. Always a big hit. And that'll be from 2 to 3. Later in that week, we're going to have our Holiday Cookie Exchange. That'll be Thursday, December 16th, starting at 6:30. And then finally, another Parents' Night Out that next Saturday on the 18th from 5 to 8. Your standard Saturday get down at the library. Anyway, hope to see you. For any information, please visit our website at nedlib.org. That's nedlib.org. It rhymes.
The Kaleidoscope Fine Arts Gallery will be having an open house this Saturday, December 11th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Check them out at 20 East Lakeview Drive, Unit 210. The gallery hosts 21 artists and will be offering sweets and treats.
You rely on the Mountaineer print and podcast for the news you need to get through the week. Our podcast is free to consume, but expensive to produce. Our print publication expenses have gone up over 30% in the last year, and an increase is expected again in January of 2022. The funding we raise this month will help us set up for a strong 2022, allowing us to continue producing reporting that informs our listeners on important issues and holds our leaders accountable. This is news Colorado needs, and you can be a part of it. Readers and listeners like you keep us going. Please consider a donation today to invest in journalism that puts community news first. It only takes a few minutes. Click on www.themountaineer.com to access the website. Then click on Donate, or donate through PayPal to publisher1977@gmail.com or by check. Send to The Mountaineer, P.O. Box 99 in Nederland, Colorado 80466. And thank you for supporting journalism that puts the community first.
Brightwood Music in Nederland has the instruments and accessories you need for your holiday shopping. Not sure what your gift should be? Brightwood offers gift certificates as well. Brightwood Music is family-owned and operated and has been a Nederland staple for more than a decade. They are located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, Unit 109 in Nederland, and can be reached at 303-258-8863, or you can find them on Facebook at Brightwood Music.
Hello, my name is Jamie Lammers, and this is my interview with local Mountaineer reporter Ann Scarf.
My name is Ann Scarf. I am a reporter for the Mountaineer, as well as a massage therapist here in Sheridan.
And how long have you lived in the Sheridan area?
4 years in December.
What stuck out to you about the area? What made you want to come to Sheridan?
Well, my husband was living in the mountains, and we got together again. We decided to buy a house, and Sheridan was where it was. However, we do have property in the mountains, and it's mainly a summer cabin, so we close it down every year.
In the mountain cabin during the summer, and then in Sheridan during the more winter months?
Well, our main home is in Sheridan.
And what do you personally love about the Sheridan area?
It's right in the middle of everything for what I need. Good shopping, not too much traffic. We have some green space. It was just a nice middle of the area for us.
Did you live in Colorado before moving to Sheridan?
Well, I've been in Colorado for almost 13 years now. Before that, it was Salt Lake City for about 20 years.
And when you thought about moving to Colorado in particular from Salt Lake City, what stuck out to you about it?
Well, I was falling in love, and it wasn't necessarily Colorado that was beckoning me, but it definitely was my husband. He was very, very sweet and wonderful. So Colorado was just where he was.
And do you have any other family in the area, or was it mainly your husband that brought you to the area?
I did not have any of my family here. My kids and my grandkids are in Salt Lake. He has his sister and her husband and her 4 children and countless grandchildren and great-grandchildren living all summer here and some of them in Albuquerque.
What are some of your favorite things to do in Sheridan or in Colorado in general?
Well, I do a lot of baking. I take care of my husband, my house, and my dog. We have the most wonderful dog. Her name is Ruby, and she seems to do something different and new every day. We have a pretty boring life, honestly, because, we're both working and we both work for the paper. And it's watching those webcasts or those meetings or going to meetings or reporting on something. And it kind of takes our free time that way.
And how long have you been working at the paper?
I think it's 2011 when I started. Back then I was able to pick up the papers, sort them, tag them, get them mailed, or go to local businesses that sell the Mountaineer. I did that for most of one summer to start with. And I got offered a job down in the valley here, and so I went to work elsewhere, but John was working for the paper all along, and after circulation, I became his photographer, photographing events, people, meetings, that sort of thing, and asking questions because I'm known for being nosy. And then after doing some photography, I was asked to do an article on some meeting, and I don't even remember what it was. It was the first one, but John had to do his board of trustees, and they had the meeting same time as board of trustees, so I was asked to try my hand at it, and Barb kind of liked it, I guess. So we've stayed at it for a while.
And what are some of your favorite parts about being able to work for the Mountaineer?
I think Barbara Hardt, our publisher, is one of the sweetest, friendliest persons that you'll ever meet. She is juggling so many things. She has family, she has kids, she has the business, she helps her with her husband's business. She's just an incredible person, and I've appreciated her over the years so much because she has helped me become a better person by watching her. And one of my favorite things is moving at the speed of Barb, which means it was going pretty darn fast.
And then moving on to just some miscellaneous icebreaker questions. What are some of your favorite things to do in general? What brings you joy in life? Do you have any favorite places to go, or favorite books, or favorite movies, or just favorite anything in general?
I am always studying the Bible. That's the number one thing. I am learning more about God and Jesus, and learning more about how to be a better me. I enjoy spending time with my husband, and we've done some trips. Our honeymoon was to Florida, and we took our dog with us, and we had a great time going to Florida on our honeymoon. We have done other trips. A couple of Thanksgivings ago, 2 to be exact, we took a trip where we flew into Bozeman, drove across Montana to Missoula, where his son and his wife were having a baby, and then we went from there over to Salt Lake for Thanksgiving and then back home. And I spent time with my kids and my grandkids in Salt Lake that year. And between us, we have 11 grandchildren. My oldest is just turned 20, and the youngest is the grandson that was born in Missoula, who is 2. Cute, adorable thing. And grandkids are what draws me to go back to Salt Lake a couple of times a year if I can. And all this while juggling my career, the paper, and everything else that I do. I just went on a cruise to Mexico out of Long Beach. 7 glorious days in 75 to 85 degree temperatures. Oh my goodness, it was wonderful. Went to Cabo San Lucas and Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta and gained weight eating like a king or queen. It was just so wonderful. So cruises are my second favorite thing to do besides seeing my grandchildren. I have a wonderful life.
Was there a time in your past that you can think of where you felt like you went wild at some point?
Every time I go on a cruise, I let my hair down and go swimming and spend time. Cruises are just where I seem to flourish.
Is there anything else you might want to add?
I think Barb has done a very good job with the paper and keeps it very folksy and, of course, informative, because she does make sure that we cover things like school boards and county commissions and DDA, and throw in all those restaurants and shopping local articles that are coming out in the next couple of weeks. And I think it's a wonderful little paper, and I'm glad I can work for them.
I think those are the big questions that I had. I want to thank you so much for coming on board and joining us on this podcast.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, for sure. It was really cool talking to you and really cool hearing about some of your experiences here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ann, for coming on board and joining us for the podcast. Be sure to keep an eye out for our articles in the Mountaineer.
Do you have a business in the Peak-to-Peak region? Send us your pitch. We cover every business from Allens Park to Central City, with all of the towns and canyons in between. Email publisher1977@gmail.com to be included in an upcoming edition of our Business Short Takes, or submit online to our website at www.themountaineer.com.
The Pet of the Year contest is now in full swing. To vote for your favorite pet, check out our website at www.themountaineer.com and click on Vote for Pet of the Year.
You talked in circles, I ran in stars. Cardboard people in cutout cars.
And that's all for this week's episode of the Mountaineer Podcast. All editions of the Mountaineer Podcast are available on our website at www.themountaineer.com and click on Podcasts.
You can pick up this week's print edition of the Mountaineer in Nederland, Gilpin County, Ward, Jamestown, Gold Hill, Ferncliff, and Allens Park. You can also read and subscribe online. All print subscribers have free access to our website.
And go online to catch up on more local news. I'm Doug Armitage.
And I'm Barbara Hardt. Until next time, thanks for listening.
To close out the podcast, here is Finn O'Sullivan again, performing her John Lennon Songwriting Contest winning song, When the Power Comes Back On, featuring Declan Kennedy.
If you tell me why you never call, all you do is run.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak-to-Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.